guys and welcome to today's video. Today I thought I would show you what is inside my travel makeup bag. Today we have a Batman makeup bag. I have quite a few makeup bags all in this sort of similar shape or size, so yeah, today it's in a Batman one because it was the closest one to me pulling it out, so here we go. I feel like I have been on a journey with my makeup bag. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I feel like it's taken me a while to really realise what I do and don't need and what I do and don't use, and I feel like this is the most minimalistic makeup that I can possibly bring with me now, and actually everything I do take with me now I do use. I used to, like when I think about it, about 2 years ago, I used to take a kit literally this big, like it's absolutely huge, and I was like, why am I bringing all this? I use one foundation, why have I got three? Like, that was me. I used to take like 3 foundations, 2 concealers, 5 different blushes, 3 different highlights. It's just completely unnecessary, and I was just kind of packing for any event that I thought was gonna happen and never happened. So yeah, I thought I would show you a few tips and tricks when packing a makeup bag and what is truly necessary to pick and what to think about when you do pack it. So yeah, let's get in and show you. So like I showed you, this is just my Batman makeup bag. It's just an opaque, normal size sort of makeup bag. I would preferably like one on its side with like a clear lid that I could just open up and just delve into like this, so I have the whole surface area to delve into. I think Cult Beauty have one and I might purchase it, but I have so many makeup bags in this style that I can't justify it on the makeup bag purchase. But I would say top tip, even though I don't have one, but I would like one, is to have a makeup bag that you can see into it. This one, I haven't got anything in it at the moment because I've just tipped everything out. This one is good, but like it's a little bit sort of, it's deep and I can't see inside of it, and that's the same with a lot of my makeup bags. They're all the same similar style, so if you get your hands on a makeup bag that's like zip around the edge and then you can see into it like a flap like this, I'd highly recommend that because I really want one of those. Bag I said I wasn't going to buy, I bought it. I bought it, you guys. This is just off Amazon. It's not off the Cult Beauty one because this Amazon one was significantly cheaper by about £10. I believe this was £8 or £10. I can't quite remember. There's like a small, medium and large. This is the medium size. I think it's like 18 centimetres by 15, something like that, but it fits everything in here. Like everything that I'm about to mention in this video is in this little bag, including brushes. Literally my whole face, my whole makeup and brushes is in here, so it's quite good. And this is just exactly what I wanted, with the whole zip that goes around. I can't do this one-handed, but like a zip that goes all the way around and like just flaps open like this. I can see everything inside it. It's really easy. It stops me overpacking. I might buy the bigger one, which is like £14 I think, like the bigger size. It's significantly bigger. It like comes out here but the same depth, so I might buy the bigger one for like longer trips or anything like that. But for me, this is absolutely perfect. I'll leave the link for this down below from where I bought it. Obviously it's not an affiliate link because it's just something I found online, but to me this is the perfect makeup bag. It's just nice and small, it's compact and square, so I can fit it in the corner of my case. I love it. Back to the video. Okay, so the first product that I cannot go without is a moisturiser. This is just the one I'm using at the moment. It's Vichy Mineral 89. It's very good. I'd say a moisturiser is the essential thing that needs to go in either your travel wash bag or your travel makeup bag. I actually recently filmed what's inside of my travel wash bags, so I'll link it up in the eye above my head so you can watch it after this video. I included a few tips and tricks on how to conserve space and what's really necessary in a travel wash bag, so make sure you watch it after this video if you haven't already. So yes, moisturiser goes in here or inside your travel wash bag. The next thing I include is a primer. Now I used to pack like 3 different primers for all different occasions, like a pore filling one, a mattifying one, a moisturising one, a luminous one. Guess what I used? Just a moisturising one. So I always feel like a moisturising primer does the main trick by combating my main problem, which is dryness. If you are oily, just use a mattifying primer. Just combat that main problem you have. I wouldn't worry too much about everything. This is just a tiny Smashbox primerizer. I'm testing it out. I keep using it whenever I'm like travelling and stuff like that. It's quite nice. Don't know if I'm going to buy the full size, but it's a very nice little moisturising primer. The next thing of course is foundation. Now I went through phases of bringing 3 different foundations. I'd bring a mattifying one that's really full coverage. I'd bring a luminous one that's really dewy, and then I'd bring like a BB cream. And guess what I used? The one that required minimal effort. This is the Bourjois Healthy Mix Serum. It is my favourite favourite foundation of all time. It never lets me down. It's not particularly full coverage. I've actually got it on my skin now and I feel like it looks very luminous. Obviously I've got highlight on as well, but my forehead always just looks nice and dewy without being too wet and sweaty looking. I love this so much. Mine's in the shade 52 Vanilla. And yeah, it's really affordable. It's about £10 mark and it just never lets me down. It stays on for a good amount of time. And yeah, I absolutely love this one. I'd say taking a lightweight foundation is actually probably the best idea. When you're on holiday, you don't want to worry about your makeup coming off. I mean, it's the last thing you want to worry about, truly. Like, just take something that you know works for you and just take that. Just take one foundation. It's all you need. And because I always take this foundation that's a lightweight foundation, is very sort of natural looking, I've learned the trick to take a full coverage concealer. Now, I've always been a bit scared of full coverage concealers in case they look cakey, and I always use my Primark My Perfect Colour or My Perfect Match, whatever it is, concealer. That's like £2. It's one of my favourite concealers because it's so lightweight and beautiful. That is a beautiful concealer if I was to take something a bit more full coverage foundation wise, but because I like to go very light with the foundation all over my face, I prefer to take a full duty concealer. Now, this is from Essence. This is the Camouflage Concealer and this is also waterproof. This is amazing. This is amazing. You need this in your life. Like, this is my favourite full coverage concealer of all time at the moment. I just cannot get enough of it. I took this with me on my last trip, which was actually Iceland, and I went into the Blue Lagoon with this all over my face. I just kind of put it all over and then just blended it all in because it says waterproof. And it really is, like, this stuff works and it's beautiful and it's full coverage and it's just so seamless. So underneath my eyes, this was great because if I wanted full coverage, I could put the foundation on and then put this all over my face, or I could just go for this or go for a mix. It was great. I loved it. For powder, I'm not really bothered because I have dry skin. I don't really use a lot of powder. I usually just typically have it under my eyes just to set my concealer down. So I always just take the smallest powder in my collection, and this is the Manica Dark Beauty one. It's quite a nice little powder. It's quite opaque. It's quite smooth. I quite like it. But the Rimmel London Stay Matte one is really, really nice as well. That's about £4. It's just like a little powder as well. So I really like that one, but I would recommend taking a pressed powder over a loose powder only because when you do get very sweaty or dewy or anything like that, it can clump up because obviously you're producing like sweat. So I would always recommend taking a pressed powder, but that's just me. That's what I prefer. That's what I take. For blush and bronzer, I either take minis or I take a palette. These are the two alternatives that I sort of decide on what I want to take last minute. This is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder palette. I think this is limited edition, but any of their palettes are really, really beautiful. This comes with your bronzer, your blush and your highlighter. I took this to Venice with me and it did the whole job. I loved it. I didn't at all at any point think I wish I bought this, or I wish I had this highlighter instead of this highlighter, or I wish I had a different blush. If I don't take this, however, though, I take my little minis. These are my Benefit like box blush minis. So I always take the Gold Rush and California. I can't show them, here you go. They just look like this. They're just really, really tiny. I got these free in like Birchbox or something. And then I have Hoola, which is my favourite bronzer. It just looks like this. It's just an absolute little mini. I love it. And then I've got two blushes, which is Gold Rush, like a muted peachy colour. And then California, which is a bright peach, which is much more like daytimey, much more fresh. So if I don't take the palette, I'll take these, but either or, like, it's just, I decide the day before I'm going really about what I want to take. So they go in here. For highlighter, if I'm obviously taking a palette, then I'll take the palette, but if not, I'll take also a mini highlighter. This is the Jouer highlighter in Citrine. It's just like a little baby size and it's the same size as these, so everything like stacks nicely and fits nicely in the bag. So again, I take a mini highlighter. I don't need anything massive. I don't need a massive compact. Like, you don't need a massive highlighter. You're not going to get through it, you know? I used to take like 3 different highlighters. Those were the days. For brows, I do like to take a pomade and a pencil, and that's just because I like to change up how I feel. Sometimes I really want like a feathered light brow, and sometimes I want like a full block brow. I'm currently wearing this Dope Taupe Colourpop pomade in my brows now, but I do love the Benefit Precise in my brow pencil as well, or any sort of brow pencil that's really precise. But yeah, I just like to take both for options because I feel like the brows are something that I really, really like to take time over, so I always take both. And it in there. For eyeshadow palettes, I ideally like to take something that has a bit of everything in. I like something that I can do a natural look and add a pop of colour. So these are actually my favourite two palettes to travel with. This is the Dream Street palette and the Zodiac palette, both by Kathleen Lights. It's just a coincidence. But let me just show you these palettes. This is the Zodiac, this is the Dream Street. Both have like natural shades in them, but then like pops of colour that really sort of add a bit of vibrancy if I want it. So these are both two palettes that I can choose between. I have travelled with this one many a time. I really like this one just because it's full of warm tones. It has like a highlighting shade, like a crease shade, a deepening shade, and then pops of colour. Just like the Zodiac one, these are really great palettes to travel with. But if you can't access Colourpop because it is an American brand and UK you do have to pay for like shipping and stuff, the Revolution palettes are really, really great as well. These are the Reloaded palettes. This one is in Velvet Rose. It's the dupe for the Soft Glam by Anastasia palette. This is really, really nice because it's so wearable. You've got like your highlighting, your deepening, your crease shades. You haven't got a pop of colour though, so how I would combat that is taking something like the Barry M like eye toppers, what are these called? Holographic eyeshadow toppers. These are amazing. Like, these are so transformative to your look. It's incredible. So you could take you could take your own pop of colour and then take a neutral palette like this and you could create a nice look with that. I do usually take, even if I do take a palette like this, I usually take a Stila glitter and like a topper, something like that. I just take these two to go with a palette just to sort of add a bit of vibrancy and juiciness to my look if I feel like it, you know. It's a bit extra. Sometimes I don't use them, but I like to have the option. So yeah, a palette and a topper or two also go in my bag. For mascara, I always like to take a mini. This is the Bad Gal Bang by Benefit mini. I also have the full size of this, but I had the mini, so I always take minis if I have them. To be honest, it's not much difference space wise, so just take the mascara you're using, but I use about 5 different mascaras, all of them go at once, so you know, I just take a mini if I've got one available. So in the bag it goes. On the topic of lashes, I do take one pair of lashes. Sometimes I don't use them, sometimes I do, but I like to have the option, and I feel like one pair of lashes, it can't hurt really, can it? This is the Revlon Precision Clear lash adhesive. I really, 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 really love this glue. Such a good glue. And these are just the Peaches and Cream Fabulous Makeup #1 lashes. They kind of look like the Demi Wispies. Any lashes you like. I really, really like these, but I just take one pair of lashes that I know will add a bit more vavoom to my face, and a glue, and that goes in my bag. And then we have lips. Now I used to take about 10 lipsticks in all different types of formulas with me, and I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I did that. I have one pair of lips. You're not going to wear 10 lipsticks in 4 days, are you? Really? So now I always take one lip liner, and that's usually just a nude lip liner if I want to sort of clean up an edge to a lip if it's all going terribly wrong. These are the Sleek Twist Up pencils. This is in Shabby Chic. Really, really like this one. It's just a lip pencil. Just take your favourite nude lip pencil, okay? Just take that and it will help you later, I promise you. And then I just like to take a couple of nudes, so I always go for like a pinky nude and then like a cool tone nude. I'm just showing you different formulas just for the ones I like to take. I like to take something that's really easy to apply, like this Chubby Stick by Soap & Glory. It's the Sexy Mother Pucker Matte Lip. I love this formula. It's just beautiful. It's just nice and creamy on the lips, but it still has like that matte look, but it looks really nice. It's really easy to apply. So I like to take something that's really easy to apply for an everyday basis. So a warm toned pink nude that's very wearable goes in. I also like to take the Jeffree Star liquid lipsticks. This is the mini, but you could take the full size. The full size is this big, the mini's this big. It's not really a massive difference. But I like to take a cool toned nude. These do stay on for a very, 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 very long time. So sometimes I just travel with the Jeffree Star liquid lipsticks and they serve me very well. So cool toned nude goes in. And finally a bright pop of red or orange. This is actually pink. I didn't mean to pick this one up, but like an orangey red I always like to take with me as well, especially if it's a sunny day. I like to put a nice orange red on my lips, and I always like to make sure it's in a long wearing formula. So the Jeffree Star liquid lipsticks, again, my favourite formula. They last forever on my lips, go in the bag. And the last product is my saving grace. Now this product will never be replaced, okay? It's just one of those products that I treasure forever. This is the All Nighter Setting Spray by Urban Decay. I love you, okay? I love you. I love you so much. This setting spray is the only setting spray you need in your life, okay? If you haven't got it, you need it, okay? You can buy the small size for £8 I believe, and then the like large size is £20. It's like half the price, I can't remember, but this is the travel size and I always take it with me. It just makes your makeup sink into the face, everything goes in nicely and everything stays on until you take it off. This stuff doesn't go anywhere without me. In the bag it goes. And then finally, if I don't have a mirror in an eyeshadow palette, this one has, but if I don't have an eyeshadow palette mirror, then I take one with me. This is just a broken mirror. Well, the mirror's not broken itself, but it used to have like a cute little stand, but I accidentally snapped it off. But I just like to take a mirror that's roughly the same size as my face, just nice and small, sometimes the same size as the palette. It just helps. You can't even see that, but yeah, I like to take a small mirror that's not compact, just one that's I can see my whole face in like this. This is what I use to film because I can hold it and see my whole face in it. I like to take a mirror this sort of size. And that is it for my makeup bag. It's literally got so much more room inside, so you could cram another palette in there if you're going for 2 weeks, but this is just the essential stuff. You don't need more than this, I promise you. I used to travel with literally half my makeup around with me and go, why don't I have any room for clothes? Because I've taken about 5 kilos of bloody makeup with me, that's why, okay? So be minimalistic. I promise you it is the way forward. I have only come to realise this after about 3 years of not being minimalistic at all. It's just the way forward. How I store brushes when I'm on holiday. These are the Real Techniques like brush kit things. You just kind of open it up like a book. It has Velcro here. You open it up like a book. You can put all your brushes in here and then close it when you're travelling to like protect the bristles. And then when you're at your destination, you bend it back and then pull on the toggle and they sit up and they like poke out. Let me show you with the brush, hang on. So the brush goes in here like so, like that. You close it for travel and when you get to your destination, pull on the toggle and then there you go. You just sit it up on your little vanity area and all your brushes are poking out all nice and cute like, you know. So I've got that. I'll quickly run through all my brushes. This is it. Like, I don't take a lot. I mean, maybe this is a lot for some people, but I don't feel like it's a lot. It's the essentials. They can usually fit in 2 of these, if not sometimes 1. You'll also have to bear with me because I recently travelled with these brushes and they are actually genuinely filthy, so ignore that. So I always take a foundation brush. This is just the e.l.f. foundation brush. I can't remember what this is called, but the Real Techniques blending brush is always a nice one to take, but I just like to make sure that I take a foundation brush that's nice and fluffy. It blends out my foundation lovely. So yeah, this is the first brush I take. I also take a mini little blender because I have the foundation brush. I don't need a massive sponge as well, but I like to take this for my concealer. I like to pat in my concealer personally. I think it's just a nicer finish. So I always just take a tiny little baby sponge. If I ever feel like I need to do my whole face, I can. It's not a problem, it just takes longer. But I always take a little mini sponge. I also take a nice little tiny tapered brush for setting under the eyes with powder, or if I have to just touch up my T-zone with a bit of powder or anything like that, I can. It's just nice and small and just gets in there. I don't need a massive fluffy brush for holiday. I don't need it. Let's just take the essentials, okay? Taking the essentials. I also take an angled brush. This is for blush. I really like this for blush. I actually sometimes just take 1 brush for bronzer and blusher. It depends on the colour of the blushes I take, but sometimes I just take 1 brush. I'd highly recommend the Real Techniques blush brush for both bronzer and blusher. I love this for contouring or bronzing, you know, I love a bit of bronzing. And blush, patting for blush is great with this brush, and then sideways motion like this is really great for bronzer. So I'd highly recommend a brush like this for both those things, but if you want to be excessive like I am, I always just take 2 brushes, but like I said, I have travelled with just 1 before. I always take a fan brush for highlighting. I know that some people like a blending brush for highlighting, but I always find a fan brush always gives me like the sharpest but most blended highlight, and I absolutely love that. I love going down the centre of the nose with a fan brush like this, and I just love going boop boop boop. I love it. This is just a luxy one, I think, so any fan brush will do. It's the shape of the brushes we're going for, guys, not the actual brushes themselves, apart from this one. This one's my baby. I also take a brow brush and spoolie. This is for my brow pomade. This is the Morphe M158 brush. Again, just a spoolie and brow brush will do. This is also great for if I want to do like liner with a dark eyeshadow. If you've noticed, I don't take black eyeliner on holiday. You can if you want to, but I rarely wear it. And if I really want like a liner moment, I just go into a dark eyeshadow and just sort of run it close to my lash line with this, so that's kind of what I do. I take a big fluffy blending brush. This is just like the most essential brush ever to me. This is the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill JH30 brush. I love this brush so much. I take this to blend out my eyeshadow, of course. This is just like the essential brush of all brushes to me. I also take a big shader brush. This is genuinely filthy, can only apologise. This is the Real Techniques 200 Bold Metals brush. It's just a really good shader brush for getting all over the lid and being really quick with it. So if I want like a nice metallic eye, I can be like boop boop boop, done, boop boop boop, done. It's just really nice and quick, so I like this brush a lot. I always take a little mini pencil brush for highlighting the inner corners and brow bone of my eye. It's not essential, but I just like to have it for ease, so I always take a little mini pencil brush. And then I take two little blending brushes like this. This is the JH40, which I really love this one, and this is the MUA E3. Kind of going for affordable brushes here, guys. This one is really great for the lower lash line because it's kind of got like that really long bristle, but they're kind of densely packed, but not too dense that you can like smoke out a lower lash line. I love this brush, and then this brush just pops into the outer corner so perfectly. So these are all the brushes I take. To me it's not excessive, to you it might be, but these just get the job done through thick and thin. I love them. And that is it. And if there's one message that I really wanted to convey in this video today, is not so much the products themselves, but the way in which you take makeup on holiday. I mean, you may not take a lot of makeup on holiday, you may not even take a foundation, in which case, you do you, girl, you are on the right track. But if you are an overpacker just like me, please do try the minimalist life, because I'm telling you now, since I have just taken one foundation, one concealer, like 2-3 lipsticks, one eyeshadow palette, you know, what else have we got in here, like one mascara, as soon as I just took literally enough to get my face done. And I also find that I get less stressed about a makeup look in the morning. I know it sounds so pathetic, but sometimes I'd wake up on holiday or on a trip somewhere and I'd be like, oh, what should I do to my face? But if I've only got one option, if I've only got one highlighter, if I've only got one blush and one bronze, they're the only ones I'm using. So I feel like it's just such a quick routine. If you've got less, you're going to spend less time doing your makeup and more time enjoying your time away. Trust me, the minimalist life when you're on holiday is the best one. And that, my friends, is it. Please do comment down below, what is your one item that you cannot replace out of your travel makeup bag? For me, it's the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. It doesn't matter what foundation, what blush, what concealer I've got. I know that if I've got this, it'll all be good in the end. This is like my one product that I truly cannot replace. What's yours? What's like your one product? Is it a lipstick that you cannot go on holiday without? What is it? Tell me down below. I'm really interested because I want to try out new things when I go on holiday. Am I missing out, you know? But apart from that, if you have enjoyed this video, please do not hesitate to give me a thumbs up, because I'd really appreciate that, and I know that you like these sorts of videos. And if you haven't already, you can subscribe and ring the bell. It's completely free and it'll notify you on when I next upload a video. I upload every single week. And yeah, I think that's it. Thank you guys for watching once again, and I will see you in my next one. Bye! With a mice... Oh my gooch, I can't get my words out. Help me.